Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, guys. So I am here with Emma.
Hi.
And Allie.
Hello.
And today I think we have a very interesting and relatable topic to talk about. And it kind of came about, I don't know, a week or so ago. I was at the supermarket with Emma, and we were about to go and do some shopping. We were together.
Just to start off, you just said supermarket instead of the grocery store.
That's a good point.
Oh, no.
You know, is Ingles really super? Or are they just a market?
It's just a grocery store.
That's
Where
true.
the eggs are too expensive.
You know, we're even getting into this before we even break into the topic.
I'm sorry.
That's true.
This is the topic.
Is Ingles a supermarket or a grocery store?
Grocery store. Absolutely.
Grocery store.
I guess like a big supermarket would be a supermarket. Like, is Walmart a supermarket? I know it's a super center.
It's still a grocery store.
Yeah, but there's like a... No. Because there's certain stores that are bigger than others.
Yeah.
So, like, that would be super then because they're super sized.
In my opinion, like...
Bigger is better.
Well, yes, but... No. So, they're all just grocery stores, though. Like, it's not like, is this a supermarket or a grocery store? I just don't say the word supermarket.
Because that would until they sell bread.
You know, you brought up a good point. Maybe they all are a grocery store. Now, supermarket, maybe if I'm at the grocery store and I have an experience that's better than average, maybe it's super.
It's super.
And a supermarket by association, but
I don't think that my brain likes the word market, though.
I'm going to the market.
It's just a store. It's
when I think market, I do think of like medieval times where you have like all these like little businesses.
Yeah.
You got a guy over there doing like alchemy. You got another guy doing like blacksmith.
Yeah.
Somebody selling some berries.
Or like Minecraft.
Or you go to like the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Where there's stuff everywhere that's like grown outside, like apples and peaches and stuff like that. Or like if you go like downtown Charleston, they have a whole big giant market. It takes up like a ton of space.
Kind of like a flea market.
Yeah.
Where they sell everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I think when I think market. I never would call a grocery store supermarket.
Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, a grocery store is literally a grocery store. Mm-hmm. You got one establishment set up.
Yeah.
And it's primarily groceries.
Yeah.
Just your necessities.
Yeah. And a market to me, I guess, feels like, okay, there's a lot of people setting up shop here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not super or market.
No.
They're just
I never really have a super time at the grocery stores.
No. Especially when I get to pay that bill.
You're right.
Oh my God. I can't get out of there without spending $100.
Yep.
Like I got 3 packs of eggs and a can of Coke, so $100 right there. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, that's interesting. And that's really the point of this whole episode is really talking through some of the different names for the same thing or same location. And this kind of came about, like I said, about a week or two ago. We're walking into Ingles, and there's a lady and her daughter walking out. I think I was checking something on my phone, and I was standing out there by the cart corral. I don't know if I'm going to use that term loosely. We'll see what happens. But the cart corral, and we were about to get a shopping cart. And this lady was just emptying her bags from her cart, and she looks at us and says, "Hey, would you like to have our wagon?" And I'm like,
wagon? A horse and carriage, like a wagon.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, what wagon, like, did you roll up in? You know? Is there like a little red wagon? You know, I definitely don't see a wagon.
Like a Grand Wagoneer? Like
yeah, you know, if it's a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, I will definitely take that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But, you know, I instantly knew when she actually made the comment, she was referring to the shopping cart. You know, and that's always been my go-to for a shopping cart is it's a cart. You know, it's on wheels. It's a basket on wheels.
Or is it a buggy?
Well, since I moved to South Carolina, I've learned that a lot of people do call it a buggy here. And I would say that's depending on who I'm with. I may call it a buggy, especially if I'm bugging out. But for me, it's always been a shopping cart.
It's always shopping cart. I had like a 2-minute argument with someone because it's a shopping cart.
Yeah, if you working retail, you definitely have that talk a lot. Like,
y'all give me a buggy, and I'm like, what? Where? Where's a buggy?
Cart. I've always called it a buggy. I worked at a grocery store for like 3-4 years, and I never once heard the wagon comment.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
That blew my mind because, you know, a wagon, when I think of a wagon, I think of like Western days where you have
at least like say it with an accent, so like I kind of knew what you meant.
Yeah, and so I always think of like a wagon as being something that you pull behind, like a kid with a little red wagon, you know, a horse pulling a wagon or a carriage. You know, a wagon's something that gets drugged behind. It's not something you push.
A wagon is something that, like, you pack your stuff at the beach and you pull a wagon behind you to get to the beach. You know, it's not
Wagon's
something
such a funny word.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
It's not something
Like
you
moist.
Yeah.
It's not something you push in front of you. It's something you pull behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, okay, I didn't see her dragging this wagon out to the shopping cart corral. You know, maybe it was the OK Corral where she has an actual wagon, but not at Ingles. So she didn't pull it out. She pushed it out. So it's definitely a shopping cart. You know, one of the other misconceptions too is I've heard people refer to it as a shopping basket.
I have heard that.
Now, a basket is something that you carry, right?
I get it mixed up all the time.
Yeah,
like,
what do you call it, a basket
like,
sometimes?
Yes, because it's like, hurry up. Can you just give me the fucking basket? Like, hurry up.
You got some aggressive customers.
Hey.
Like,
So, like,
I mean, like, seriously.
like we've done many, like, cashier trainings. What do we call that? What do we call cashier trainings? We call it a basket blitz.
Yeah.
It's a basket blitz.
What's in your basket?
That's
Fill
their,
the basket.
like, official word for it, but I hate that. Like,
Yeah.
because I've always called it's always been a buggy to me because I'm born and raised South Carolina, worked at a very South Carolina grocery store. Like, it's just always been a buggy. But maybe the official term is a basket since we used to do.
But it looks like a basket. It's the same color.
Yeah,
just
it
bigger
does.
on wheels.
It looks like a big basket on wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
I
it
agree.
is.
That's a good point.
It is
Okay.
basically a basket. What's the definition of a basket? Something you carry stuff in or something you hold in your hand like this to carry stuff in? I don't know.
We're going to have to get Webster's involved in this.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Follow-up needed on this topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next one, is it a pizza or is it a pie?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Definitely a
Absolutely.
pizza.
It's always pizza.
Yeah, you have like those New Yorkers that come down, hey, I need a pie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you need? Lemon meringue, apple,
Chocolate. Like,
chocolate?
Like, give me the pie. Where's the pie?
Where's the pie at? Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, where's the pie?
Yeah, here we call it a pizza.
It's pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
You want a pizza?
That's right.
Pizza.
Pizza.
I want a piece of that pizza.
Yeah, I want a pizza. Pizza.
Pizza.
Well, I love
100%
pizza. I kind of like pie, but that's a separate thing. All right, so the next one. Is it a lollipop or is it a sucker?
Sucker.
I always feel weird saying sucker. Like I said earlier,
No, what up,
sucker. I barely know her, but
Yeah, exactly.
but I always end up calling it a sucker.
I
It's
barely
just-
know her, barely know him.
Oh, either one.
Either one. No, it's a sucker because you suck on
you
it.
suck
Yeah.
it.
You suck it.
Yeah.
So-
Just suck it, man.
My
Yeah,
great grandmother
just
used to
suck
call it a suck it.
Yeah.
But you know, my great grandmother growing up, she called them suckers and thought it was kind of weird, but whatever. I always known it as a lollipop,
Yeah.
you know, or if you have like one with bubble gum, it's a blow pop.
Agree. On the
No,
You know, you
because,
don't
like-
blow on it. You're not like,
No,
Well,
because
no,
like that
but-
wouldn't. Because some suckers have gum in it.
yeah.
So like
And that's
the
a blow
blow
pop.
pop. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it has
for
gum
sure.
in it.
Like a
Yeah.
Tootsie Pop has a Tootsie Roll in them. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of that Tootsie Pop?
I've tried too
One.
many times and I just
Yes,
You bite
ma'am.
on the thing?
Yep.
Like a 1, a 2.
I
Now, do you spit on the thing?
put a little hot two on it.
You know what? The owl's eyes would be like,
Yeah, the owls would be like,
Mm-hmm.
who's that?
who done it?
Yeah.
No, it's
Who are
a
you?
sucker. 100%.
Yeah, it's a sucker. Lollipop seems too formal to me. Like,
Can I have a lollipop? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like when you're a kid, it's a lollipop. But then, like,
Yeah.
when you're grown, it's a sucker.
Yeah,
But-
see,
Like, can I
like,
just
But-
have the damn sucker?
have you ever seen like the big giant lollipops?
like a little
Yeah.
swirl.
Yes, the big ones. Those are lollipops. I feel like
Because they're big.
because they're big.
And there's no
Yeah.
core. It's just candy. right?
yeah, right. If you can like fit your whole mouth around it,
You're sucking on it. You're not licking on it.
then it's
Yeah.
a sucker. Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah. But if you're like actually sucking on it, then it's a sucker. But if it's a lollipop, like we were talking about earlier, lolly is a word for candy. I feel like that really like makes sense. You know
Like,
what I
if
mean?
you live in, like, Europe,
Yeah.
like, you're
But
British,
a bit
like,
like
love
you
me a
were-
lolly.
Yeah, right. But like you were saying, it's just candy at that point because you're just kind of like working on it. Like you're just kind of like eating it
Yes,
until
ma'am.
it goes.
Makes sense.
But you don't got the whole thing in your mouth, therefore it's not a sucker. It's a piece of candy.
You know, you convinced me when you said like those really big lollipops and versus something you put in your mouth. Yeah, that's a sucker.
Right.
So I think I may have to side with you on that one. It's a sucker.
Thank you.
Next. So this one I'm not as familiar with, but I know sprinkles, but I've never heard anybody call them jimmies.
I haven't either.
I have heard it because I watch a lot of YouTube videos on baking. I love baking. And they call it little, like, not really jimmies. I've heard it called, like, little jimmies. Like, they're little chocolate sprinkles that you put on candy, sweets, and cakes, whatever. Yeah. They just call them little jimmies.
Okay.
I don't know,
Who's
because
Jimmy and why did they
we
use
love
his
Jimmy.
name?
Yeah, like, what is he sprinkling?
Cute.
Like, is it his dandruff he's sprinkling on the food?
Chocolate dander.
Like, I don't want Jimmy sprinkles. I'm just letting you know. Like, I don't know who he is.
Thousands of Jimmys and sprinkles.
Yeah, definitely.
It is sprinkles like that. That's how I say it.
100% sprinkles.
When I go to the supermarket, I just want to.
You mean the grocery store?
I just want to get some Jimmies.
I'm gonna go to the supermarket and get some Jimmies.
We love Jimmy. Jimmy's got a good personality. Yeah. We love Jimmy.
Yeah, we do.
You know what? It sounds like Jimmy's really getting it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so
Let's
next
go,
one.
Jimmy.
You are a master cake pop designer, so you may know the answer to this one.
Okay.
Is it frosting or is it icing?
I say both.
Both? Like, okay, so it goes both ways?
Yeah, because like when I'm asking someone to go to the supermarket, can you get me some frosting? Also, it's in the icing section. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So
slapping some logic on that.
Yeah, I've been really thinking about this one. Frosting, I feel like comes in a big tub. And you like just slap it on something. Like really quick. It's the big, thick frosting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Like you're putting on top of a cake and you're hiding like the seams and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're not worried about it looking pretty. It's just like a cake. Icing, you put it in the little thing, you squeeze it.
Yeah, like the piping bag. You're actually trying to make it look pretty.
Yes, and you make it look pretty. It's the same stuff.
Okay, so
tastes the same.
Yeah.
Different purposes.
So frosting is like the constructive part. It's like the cement of the cake.
Yeah.
And then icing is like the decorative touches.
Yes.
Like, that's the curtains.
Yes.
Okay.
But I say it both ways though. Like, can I have some icing?
Yeah, I think the term is interchangeable though.
So I think we can just agree that both are delicious.
For sure.
Like, would you rather lick the frosting or the icing? I mean, like, you're gonna do both.
Look, I'm gonna lick the spoon no matter what's on
Yes,
it.
right. You do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So next one, is it a submarine or is it a hoagie?
First of all, like, why would you call it a submarine?
I've never
like,
in my life heard submarine.
Like you looked at that sandwich, was like, damn, that's a submarine.
You know, maybe the origin comes from like an actual like sub roll. Looks like a submarine.
Yeah.
However, I'm not putting it on the water before I eat it.
No.
So it's definitely not a submarine.
But like a hoagie, like first of all, like who made that word?
Somebody up north.
Hoagie.
Yeah, like somewhere in the Northeast.
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey,
Philly or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, they don't call it a hoagie cheesesteak.
Hosey?
Yeah, hosey. We're going to get to the hose one next.
The hose are coming up.
Yep.
We like some hose.
We do. It's definitely a sub. Like, it's a sub.
Yep. Not a submarine.
Like
just
Subway.
Like Subway, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Subway.
$5 foot long subs. Except, you know, those are like $10 now.
Yeah.
Like,
are they really?
Like,
I don't eat Subway.
On there. I haven't either, but...
Yeah, I mean, if we can go back in time and get some $5 foot longs, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want like 50% bread.
Jersey Mike's.
Like, that's all the sub is.
Better, to be honest.
I don't like Jersey Mike's either.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
That's a shit nasty.
She don't like her hoagies at
Look,
all.
I'm going to tell you where you get the best subs. Publix.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
All right, this next one. You got gravy, but it's also known as sauce.
Sauce.
I've never heard anybody call it sauce.
I just want some gravy. Like a breakfast with eggs and gravy.
Yeah, are we talking about like biscuits gravy? Because that's definitely gravy.
Yeah,
sauce
gravy.
is completely different. Sauce is like ketchup or barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Wake up. Ketchup or barbecue sauce or mustard, whatever. That's a sauce.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put gravy like in the middle of my burger.
No, well,
I wouldn't put gravy on like...
That doesn't sound too bad. But
my fries.
maybe that's just me being big bag. And I've definitely had gravy on... I've definitely had gravy on fries as well.
Have you?
But yeah.
Damn, like she know how to eat.
Damn.
She do.
Yes, ma'am.
She do.
Okay.
I like that. But no, like a gravy. I
It's
want
definitely gravy. I love some biscuits and gravy. Oh my gosh.
All right, so is it called a water fountain or a bubbler?
water fountain.
I've never heard anybody call it a bubbler.
Me neither.
Because like I have fish, like you need a bubbler to keep them bitches alive.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
bubbler.
Like water's coming out of that. It's not the opposite where you have like a water atmosphere with air coming through it.
Yeah.
That's a bubbler,
Yeah.
right? But
A
I've never
bubbler's
thought
like
to go.
under the water. already.
Yeah, like if you're gonna go get a drink of water, you're not thinking, okay, let me get these bubbles right quick.
Yeah.
You know,
Like the dog's like going up to fountains, being like, I want me some bubbles. Like
you know, the fish, they're like, put some bubbles in this water.
Yeah.
I've
Water-
seen where people like
water
put
fountain.
like the bubbles in the water fountain, try and make it like all big and fluffy.
Fluffy
seen
water.
Bubbly water.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So this next one, I actually kind of have a split decision. So are they called fireflies or lightning bugs?
It's a lightning bug.
Yeah. It's a lightning bug.
I can tell you when I grew up in Florida, they were fireflies.
Well, like I said fireflies up north when I lived up there, but it's like it's just funny to say lightning bug. 'Cause
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like a flash of lightning.
yeah.
And that
In
was
the
my
sky.
experience. Like it was always a firefly when I first started catching them as a kid. And, you know, South Florida is kind of like New York in the north anyway. So it's not really the South. So I can understand why it was more of a northern thing down in Florida. But then when I moved up here, I remember like my first week in town, I was hanging out with some people and they said, hey, look at that lightning bug. I'm like, what? Lightning. I'm looking in the sky like, okay, what's going on?
Like where?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they zap like lightning. I'm like, okay, makes sense. It kind of sounds cooler than Firefly.
It does. I always think of that 10,000 Fireflies song whenever I hear Firefly, and it just kind of ruins it for me. So I like always say lightning bugs.
Yeah, because like I
like
used
that lightning
to
bug.
keep
We
them
used to,
in like a mason
Yeah,
jar.
I used to like catch them in mason jars. poke
Yeah,
a
then
little
like you leave
hole
no
in
air
it.
and they die.
Well, I would poke a hole
I
in
was
mine,
not a
but
great-
you're a psychopath.
I was not a good mother to them. Whoopsies. I like
I'd-
put salt on slugs. Like I was
hate
that
to
type
see,
of person.
I'd hate to see your fish.
They're alive and breathing. Okay.
Yeah, like I
They're
thought I
doing
was
fine.
like Thomas Edison out there. I'd take like the empty
Yeah.
newspaper bags and put them all in there, like I was like harnessing electricity. Look at my light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it'd be cool where you have a bunch of them in a bag and you just like go around like a
Look,
like
like
it's
I
a
had like at
torch.
least 10 of them in there.
Yeah, I would catch a lot,
Yeah.
but they would be like they'd slow fly.
I was like
So
the
you could
British.
just easily catch
Look
them
at
real
my
quick.
torch.
Your
Yeah,
torch.
you know, once you have like the bag established, it's hard to really use the same bag and keep catching them. So it is a little bit difficult.
Yeah, for sure. they fly
Maybe a
out.
little bit, but I don't like to touch bugs anymore. I quit doing that. I grew
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
finally.
That's interesting though that you guys didn't grow up in this area at all, but you still have those memories of like catching lightning bugs.
Oh yeah, I think we all had the same childhood at one point.
Yeah.
And just like caught things
Yeah.
and like killed them
lightning
later.
bugs seem like a really southern thing
accident.
to me.
Yeah, when
I
I
feel
was
like lightning bugs don't live up north, but they do.
No, they don't live in
Yeah,
Miami
they
either.
do.
Yeah, they do.
There's a lot of them. Like if
Yeah.
you live in like a dense area of like brush, not really
Uh-huh.
trees, like brush.
Yeah.
And they live all up in the grass because I guess that's how they mate.
Yeah.
With the flash of light, and then like the females are down in the brush, and like they see the males, and then they're like, "Oh my god, he's hot. I
He's
want him to
brighter.
fly down."
He shines brighter than all the rest of the lightning bugs.
I was like, "Wow, I like him. He got
Yeah.
the biggest booty of all them lightning bugs."
Right.
It's got that brightest flash I've
know.
ever seen.
Yep. Yeah, in my brain, like lightning bugs are only in South Carolina.
They are. Yeah.
That and honeysuckles.
So, oh my gosh, yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
say honeysuckles.
Fireflies as a kid, and when I grew up, they became lightning bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I don't say firefly no more.
No. Interesting.
Yep. I've just always said lightning bug.
So what about this next one? Is it called a milkshake or a frappe?
Milkshake.
I think
It's
it's
a
a
milkshake.
milkshake unless you shop at Starbucks.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want me a frappe. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want a frappe. I just give me the
frappe
milkshake.
is a frappuccino and it has coffee in it.
Oh, okay. I don't drink Starbucks like,
Like,
that.
Well, I don't really either, but
I need my coffee milkshake.
You're the one
yeah,
with
it's a
coffee.
coffee milkshake, and it doesn't taste like coffee. It just tastes like a milkshake, but I think it has a little bit of coffee in it. Like
Oh.
I really associate frappe with Starbucks.
See,
with
like I do
coffee.
too. Like I think frappe,
Yeah.
I think coffee,
Yeah,
and then like milkshake, I think of like chocolate, cookies and cream,
Yeah.
vanilla, all these crazy
more
flavors you can
ice
make.
cream based.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah. It's definitely if you're talking about milk and ice cream. it's
Because like
milkshake.
you and I hang out. Like I might ask you, can we go out and get a frappe?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's go to Starbucks. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
How about you?
Interesting. I don't drink coffee, so I only like
Milkshake.
milkshakes. Yeah. I acknowledge that a frappe exists, but it's not existing in me.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
What's the next girl?
If you can even
Who is she?
call a frappe coffee, though, you know.
Okay, just say coffee then. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you want. Just say coffee.
Right. Like I'm picturing a frappe in my head, and I'm picturing like
Like it's
something
like
that doesn't look like coffee at all, but it has coffee in it. You know, some people don't even consider frappes to be coffee.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't do all that.
It's a whole nother
It's a different ballgame.
ballgame. Because I don't really like coffee unless it's like.
Because I already
taste
have
like
a
coffee.
challenge with like ordering at Starbucks, like
Yeah.
ordering a venti,
Yeah.
and then ordering
What-
like 36 different items on
Yeah.
top of it. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
I give up. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to speak a whole language to go to
You
Starbucks.
do.
Nope. I have
do.
to have my
That's
friend
probably
do
why I
it for
don't
me.
go,
Like,
like-
please. I don't know.
I feel like if I go to Starbucks, I'm gonna look like I'm uneducated. Like, can I have like a
I just say a large.
Frappuccino?
I just want a large.
Yeah.
Whatever your size medium is, I'll have that.
Like, can I get a venti mocha fucka?
Mocha fucka. I don't want me a mocha fucka. I don't want him to spit in my drink.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's
Yeah.
nasty. We don't like that.
So, in the U.S., we have a lot of complicated terminologies. I guess depending on where you live or just what your preference is. But do you call it a freeway or highway?
I say both, but
Me
also
too.
like being from the north, I've always heard expressway too.
That's another one. Yeah, expressway.
See, I've never heard that before.
So we
The
used to
express
call it
it's just the fastest way of getting to your destination.
Yeah, it's express. And, that was quicker than taking the roads. But I've heard it called the freeway, which, depending on where you live, it's not really free anymore because they're charging you more and more tolls, it seems like, every
That's
time you
true.
turn around.
Facts.
And, in South Florida, they have, the fast pass lanes where you're paying to go in the faster lanes when you're already on the freeway,
See,
which doesn't even make sense.
a fast pass is what I would think of for like an expressway.
Mhm.
Like I know Georgia has through their whole state they have like the Peach Pass.
Yeah.
I feel like that's express. Like the express lane is you pay extra for it and you get there faster.
And the freeway is like the other lane.
it's just the other lane to
That's the highway.
Yeah.
it
The
is.
See, it's in the highway.
A freeway like is what you take to get onto the highway.
Like the
then you're
on-ramp?
Yes, and then you're
Okay.
on the highway. Interstate and highway are totally interchangeable words.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are too. Interstate, like
you wanna be
I-95,
I
95.
always call
So-
it the interstate.
So the interstates are the ones that actually take you in and out of different states.
Yeah.
So you do have like other highways, if we call them that,
Yeah.
that kind of go through the state but
Like-
don't exactly go into
right, like
connecting
123 and Easley is a highway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's not an interstate, but the interstate is a highway because
Mhm.
it's just a major road.
Yeah.
So, but every time I go on 85, it's like that's the interstate. I'm on the interstate.
Yeah, every time I travel, my mindset goes to freeway because I do not want to pay tolls. I'm like, if I can just take a freeway and not,
So you're
not a
saying
payway.
free,
then
like
you
Is it
don't
like
pay
you
for
free
it.
of charge?
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, all highways should be freeways in my opinion in that sense. Like, how are we going to charge people just to travel?
Is that what they're supposed to be, or are you just playing on words?
A little bit of both.
Like,
Well, the interstates are not supposed to be taxable because
Yeah.
that's government and state.
well, if you want a tax road, a toll road, that's like a
Yeah.
private road.
That's a private road,
Yeah.
correct. But what they're doing now is they're actually taking interstates and adding like extra lanes
right.
Yeah.
that are separate and supposed to be quicker than the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
So
They had
they're
that on the
basically
way
doing what
to
Disney
North
does.
Carolina too, and I was like, well, I'm in the right lane, so I guess it don't matter to me. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove through Tampa a couple years ago and just took the fast lane without even thinking. Got a bill in the mail for it. Like they took a picture of my license plate and sent me a bill in the mail. It was like $5. Like it wasn't bad, but I was
That's
like,
it?
Yeah.
So I just got my bill in the mail for my last Florida trip for my
Oof.
brother's wedding. So we got Turnpike, we got other highways, $57.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Not
thought-
free. Not free, folks.
No, traveling is not free, even if you take a car.
And the other part too is like leaving Miami, there are so many different toll roads all the way through. And to think that people pay all these tolls just to sit in traffic on top of
Yeah.
that, like you're spending $10 to go to and from work.
At that point, just take the regular way.
But it's
like-
even worse. There's so much congestion that
Yeah.
your mind says, I need to get there faster. So I'm just going to pay these ridiculous,
Yeah.
absorbent amount of fees. Just
well,
to
but
go
even if you
to
took
and
the
from.
back way, you're still spending probably $10
more time, more gas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to get there the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I
Am
mean,
I-
so I'd just rather pay the $10
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just sit in traffic.
Yeah, my dad used to travel probably 35, 40 minutes to work every day, and he would take toll roads every single day.
Mhm.
Like $100 a month and just toll roads.
Ridiculous.
Just back and forth to work. Like just to get to work.
That's crazy.
So
I
not
hope he's
only,
profiting
like-
off of that and not just
well-
spending money on tolls.
Well, we moved, so he
Oh,
don't
okay.
have to, he don't have
That
to
makes
do,
sense.
He don't have to do all that anymore. But
That's like
yeah, it was
reducing his
crazy.
mortgage. I'm going to move away from this area and save $100 a month.
Yeah.
I like
You
it.
could do that too, yeah.
Well, definitely not a freeway. I think we can call it a highway.
highway, yeah. Out
Highway?
of those two words, I usually
Yeah,
say
I mean, like,
interstate.
if I'm, like, trying to be quick and I'm, like, calling you or something, like, hey, I'm getting on the highway now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So it's not my way or a highway. It's just a highway.
It's just a
It's
highway.
just a highway.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'll just either just call it 85. You know, I like
Yeah.
I
Just
like
call it
to
the-
use I
just call
like
it the
to
number.
use the number names for roads. Like I really just don't like
That's
the
true.
name because you know you can do like
Yeah, I'm on
81 is
85.
Anderson Road, but it's also 81. You know,
Yeah.
I always would rather just use the number.
That's true. I do that sometimes
Well,
too.
we
yeah.
live in the age of efficiency, so calling it 85 is better than saying I-85 or
Right.
the interstate or the highway, etc.
Right.
Like, if
Because
you're trying to
there's-
get, like, fancy with it and somebody's, like,
there's-
formally asking
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's like I-85 and there's Business 85 and there's this and there's that and there's just I'm just on 85 somewhere on.
you. It's like, I just hope you get the point and then just move on.
yeah,
Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit here and, like, argue with you over, like,
Right.
10 minutes on what it's
Right.
called.
right. Especially while you're driving, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here by the time we're
On
done
the
arguing.
highway. Yeah, yeah.
Next one.
Next one. So is it called a garbage can or a trash can? Like, my personal opinion is they're interchangeable. It's both trash and garbage. You know, so I guess it just comes down to preference.
Feel
I
like
don't know. I feel like garbage is just funnier to say.
that's what I was thinking.
Garbage.
Emma,
You're
you
garbage.
say garbage all the time. Like,
do?
Ironically,
Like,
yes.
that's
That's so
garbage.
funny.
Yeah, like oh, that's garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that all the time. But like stuff that you're wanting to throw away that's not useful anymore, that's nasty, it's trash.
Yeah.
I
Like,
feel like
that's
it'll
trash.
yeah, like I feel like it'll always be a trash can and not a garbage can.
Yeah. I agree with
I
that.
feel like garbage is supposed to be used in the way that Emma uses it, and that's
Like, that's garbage.
Like
Mhm.
ironically, yeah.
But see, you can
but, like,
call
you just
somebody
throw it
you
away
don't
in a
like
serious
trash,
way
too.
that's trash.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I mean, I think it's interchangeable, you know, depending on my mood of the day. Okay, that's trash. Okay, it's garbage.
Like,
I mean,
if you're
'cause
like insulting someone, you're not gonna call them you're a garbage, like a piece of garbage. Like, you're trash.
I don't know. Politically, they used that term recently. Garbage man.
True.
But you know, I think I've referred to particular individuals as being trash once before.
Yeah.
I
like-
don't know if I've ever called them garbage. I've said, "Oh, that's garbage." Like if I
Yeah.
don't like a TV show, a result, or something like, "Oh, that's garbage."
Yeah.
So
You know?
maybe like trash is like talking about people that we don't like, and garbage is talking about like events that happened that we don't like.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But also like if I'm saying, hey Tony, can you take the trash out? I'm not gonna say, can you take the garbage out? I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
can you take the trash out?
See,
I
but
feel
I
like
say
it's always the
garbage that
trash.
way, too.
It's to me, it's trash.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
trash.
Take out the trash can.
Yeah, right.
But you know, it might be garbage too. So.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage. Maybe it's like a regional thing. Maybe it's like
Yeah.
up north,
It
it's
could be, yeah.
garbage.
That's
sure.
what I'm thinking. It's
Yeah.
regional.
Yeah, we're not quite north enough for garbage.
No.
All right, so here's one of my favorites. I got a lot to say about this one.
Go for it.
Shoes. Shoes is such a generic term, but within the canopy or the umbrella of shoes, there's so many like subcategories, but also other names that don't make sense. Sally, I know you got one.
You're talking about tennis shoes versus
Like running shoes and other
sneakers
shoes.
versus what? They're tennis shoes. They're
Yeah.
always tennis shoes. They've always
I've
been
never called them
tennis
sneakers.
shoes. No, they're definitely not sneakers.
But if you're not playing tennis, are you buying tennis shoes?
There's-
Are you buying running shoes? You
now,
buying,
like, I have.
That's getting way too specific. Like, I'll
Yeah.
just tell you what I'm buying. Like, I'm getting some Nikes.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
seriously,
That's too
seriously.
much.
I'm gonna look for some Nikes.
Well, the older crowd always refers to them as tennis shoes.
Yeah, I think I get that from my grandma. My grandma has
Yeah.
always said tennis shoes, and I just say it because I think I picked that up from her.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, like these shoes that I'm wearing New Balances are their tennis shoes. But I have shoes that I wear specifically for the gym, and I have running shoes and I have lifting shoes. So
Now,
those
are they
are
gym shoes?
Yeah.
Or are they still
well,
tennis
they're
shoes?
lifting shoes is what I usually would say. And then I have running shoes as well that are different. But like my everyday tennis shoes. See, I just said it, not even thinking about it. Like
Yeah.
my everyday shoes that are active wear, comfortable shoes, then I would just go to the grocery store, go here, and that aren't like dressy shoes or comfortable, more like loafer type shoes are going to be tennis shoes.
Okay.
Call them.
So let me tell you my opinion on sneakers, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
So every time I hear the term sneakers, I'm like, are we selling to like criminals that are going to sneak up on people?
Why
like,
are you sneaking?
Why do you need sneakers unless you're going to be sneaky?
Yeah.
Like, where did we even come up with the name sneakers? Like, does your feet sneak up in them? You know, are they quiet when you walk around on those shoes versus like tennis shoes that maybe make like, noise? Yeah, maybe like tennis shoes
like
are more like
shoes.
sports shoes where like when you're walking, you know, they squeak and, you know, all that stuff like basketball shoes. Maybe sneakers don't do
Let's
that.
get some squeakers.
Yeah.
Some squeakers instead of
Let's
sneakers.
go to the grocery store and get some squeakers.
Yeah, like why are they even called sneakers?
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Why are they called that?
Like that's one of the worst terms in my opinion, because if somebody asks, hey, you know, I need some sneakers. Okay, well,
Some
like,
sneakers.
are you about to rob a bank? Okay, I'm not calling the police. So tell me a little bit more about these sneakers. What kind of activity are you going to be doing with these?
Running. Okay, that's not sneaky.
You're not sneaking. You're moving way too fast to be sneaking.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, sneakers is just kind of a weird word. When somebody says sneakers, I immediately think like Skechers.
Yeah.
Like Skechers, like dad shoes.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if they're wanting sneakers, the next thing is going to be the outfit. So you're looking for an orange jumpsuit?
Yeah, right, right.
I
you
feel
looking
like
for
a
a ski
specific
mask?
type of shoe has to be a
mask.
sneaker. Because like I have a lot of shoes, and I have ones for work. I have ones for looking like a baddie.
Your thigh highs. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
And then I have like heels. I don't have what do you call it? The ones that like wedges. I don't have wedges, but like
Why do they call them wedges anyway?
they look like a slice of.
Do they wedge under your foot?
They look like a wedge. Like instead of being like a skinny heel, it's like a fat heel, and it's like a wedge type of thing.
Yeah, it's like you know how like
It's like a
that
wedge
piece of
between
wood.
you and the ground.
Yeah, like you
Basically.
wedge it in there,
Like
type
a platform or...
thing.
Yeah,
but like
it's
to
kind
me,
of like a platform, but they're easier to wear than heels because they're not
That's
skinny, like they're fat.
let me get some wedgies.
Yeah,
That's a different thing.
some wedgies.
You want a wedgie or
give me
you
some
want a
wedgies.
Melvin?
Oh Lord.
No, but to me, I say tennis shoes too. Like
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I want to go
Tennis
get some tennis shoes.
I'm just like, I need some new shoes.
Yeah,
You know?
See, I was thinking about that because I was thinking like back to the retail days, people asking, "Hey, I need help in shoes," and all that we sold is tennis shoes, right?
Yeah.
And nobody would say like, "I need a pair of tennis shoes." They're there for tennis shoes, obviously, because of the store that they went to, you know.
or like if you're specific, like cleats.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get
But
some cleats.
if I was in like a sports store looking for tennis shoes, then I would have a specific brand in mind. So like you were saying, you would be like, I want to go get some new Nikes. Probably what I would say too. Like if I'm going to, I wear my Nikes lifting. Like
because they're gonna ask you like,
shoes.
what are you looking for to
Yeah.
try and help you? Just say Nikes.
Yeah,
Make
I'm
it
gonna
easier
wear
for
my
'em.
Nikes. Yeah.
So if you had somebody that actually wanted to play tennis, what kind of shoes would they be wearing?
Sneakers.
They're moving way too slow. They need to be playing pickleball instead of tennis.
Pickleball's fast. Pickleball's probably faster than tennis.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, I hear it's low impact compared to
It
tennis.
is low impact, but you're still moving.
Are you? Yeah, like what kind of tennis shoes do you play in for tennis?
That's
Wedges.
such a
I'm just kidding.
wedges barefoot.
You're not playing good in wedges.
No.
You may have some reach.
Those are
I'm thinking running shoes.
tennis shoes.
I feel like no, if you're like actually in the sport, I think they do have like a qualification that you have to
they
wear
do.
these.
Like if
Well-
I was working and somebody was like, "Hey, I need some tennis shoes," I'd be like, I probably would look at them and be like, "Do you mean like for actual tennis or?"
That's my first thought.
Yeah. But in everyday life, like I would just call them tennis shoes, just because that's just what we say. I don't know why they call them tennis shoes.
Yeah, it's just confusing because if
It is
somebody's actually
confusing.
playing tennis, there's not really a tennis shoe.
I'm sure there is.
Maybe. I've never seen them at least, but I've had a lot of people ask for tennis shoes or sneakers, and then you ask them more questions. Okay, they're looking to do some running, or, you know, they're looking to just cut the grass. It's like, okay, well, you know, running a lawnmower is a little bit different than
Let me take you to
a
the New
racket and balls,
Balances.
you know what I mean?
I'm giving the ones I'm wearing.
Yeah. Oh, you're ready to cut grass in the New Balances.
I love them.
I can't wait to hear your dad jokes.
You know I have those. Yeah. People that play tennis just don't wear tennis shoes. They just wear shoes. Like
that's what I'm saying.
That is like
because like they already play tennis. Like they already got the name.
I bet tennis players get so frustrated with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like with trying to buy shoes for their sport.
Yeah.
Like
thank God for Amazon. They probably just pick it and avoid all the confusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they don't want to deal with the person.
Right.
It's going to ask them 20 questions.
Right. No, I mean like tennis shoes. I need shoes to play tennis.
My first thoughts are, okay, you probably need running shoes because you want to move fast.
You need to move fast, yeah. I mean, it doesn't
like
really
get you some Brooks.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what shoes you're wearing if you're just running on a court. I think at that point you need comfort. Yeah. Like,
comfort and flexibility.
Like, of course, like basketball shoes have to be a certain type of shoe. And then you've got cleats. Mm-hmm. Then you've got sport-specific cleats. You've got football cleats for turf. And then you've got baseball cleats for dirt. Yep. You know? So, different shoes for different things. But if you're just playing on a court, I feel like a tennis court, I feel like just regular tennis shoes would be fine.
And that's where, like, okay, if somebody's playing golf, they need golf shoes. Hey, I need some golf shoes.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's bringing their kids in to get some cleats, hey, I need cleats.
What sport are
I need
playing?
Football cleats. You know, if somebody needs work boots, they're going to say work boots.
Yeah, right.
But it's just the tennis shoes. It's kind of confusing.
It is. And as, like, retail workers, like, that's not really something that I've really contemplated before, but it's definitely, like, a confusion that I've come across.
Mm-hmm. All right, so up next, is it called a faucet, a spigot, or a tap?
What'd you call me? It's a faucet, damn it.
Like, I called you a tap because I tapped that.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's a faucet. Like, can you turn on the faucet?
I'll be honest with you, I grew up with it being called a faucet. Now, older people call it a spigot.
Okay, can I
Or if it's outside the house, it might be a spigot. But inside, it's a faucet.
Say something real quick. It's just a sink. It's just sink water.
Yeah, turn on the sink.
Turn on the sink. I'm gonna turn on the sink. I've been thinking about this question for 20 minutes, and faucet and spigot and tap, none of them sounded right to me.
No.
Like none of them really hit home. But it's a sink.
Yeah, you turn on the sink.
Yeah.
You turn on the shower.
The sink is like with the bowl. With the bowl part, you put the dishes in.
Yeah, but the water comes out of the sink.
I'm with Allie on this one because I look at it like this. A faucet is a subcomponent of the sink or the shower. So if you're turning on the shower, you're turning on the water from the shower.
Like that's the valve for the shower.
But it still has a faucet.
Yeah, it has a faucet or a spigot. But I think a faucet would be what you find in a sink or shower in your house. A spigot would be what's outside for like the garden hose.
I agree. Yeah.
And a tap is what you get your beer from.
Truth. Okay. Yeah. No, it's sink water. I've heard people like at restaurants and stuff say like tap water.
Yeah, I've heard. Like
from
tap
the tap.
water.
Yeah.
But I agree. Tap is what you get your beer from. If you're just drinking like not filtered water at your house, it's sink water.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna go wash my hands, what do? I turn on the sink.
Yep. I agree.
Emma's like,
hey, look, when somebody says open the door, they don't say turn the doorknob and pull the thing forward. They say open the door.
Open the door. Yeah,
I'm going to go open the door, not turn the knob and pull it forward or backwards.
I'm going to start my car. I'm not going to stick the key in the ignition and turn it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you do, but you don't have to say all that.
And these new cars, you got to put your foot on the brake and shit too.
Push the button thing. You got to push to start.
You know, I turn my car on a little differently. I'm like, hey, baby, how you doing?
That's nasty.
The Jeep likes that.
Yeah, and then I push its button too. Oh, it loves that.
Oh my God.
You should hear it purr afterwards.
Ooh. But you like that shit.
Cringe. So the next one. I grew up in America. I grew up with 3 terms for the same fucking vehicle. Is it a semi-truck? Is it a tractor trailer? Is it an 18-wheeler?
I've called it an 18-wheeler.
It's an 18-wheeler.
Because like some people say semi and like semi.
Yeah.
True.
I've always said semi-truck.
Yeah, like if it's a semi, like I want to see what a full truck is. You know
like
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see
I think that's a full truck already.
I hear tractor trailer and I think of like a big green tractor pulling a trailer. And that's probably just a like small town South Carolina in me, but that's what I think. Yeah. But it's an 18-wheeler. It has 18 wheels on it. It's big.
Easy enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the
Like, you
tractor
don't
trailer
gotta
part.
complicate. It's just 18 wheels.
It just has 18
Yeah, just
wheels.
18 wheels.
Yeah.
But the tractor trailer, I had a different view. Like I'm sitting here thinking, like, is it a truck pulling a tractor on the trailer? But yours actually makes more sense. Is it a tractor
it's a
pulling
tractor
a trailer?
pulling a trailer. Yeah.
Which would be a wagon because you're pulling it from
Like, it would be the honky
Be a
tonk
wagon.
neighborhoods.
Yeah, it'd be a honky. It definitely
That's
have
got
to be a honky.
trailers with
You
tractors.
ever like been in some honky tonk side of town and seen
Definitely.
like a tractor just driving on the road?
Yeah,
so
of
I
course.
picture, yeah, right.
Here.
Of course. So I see a tractor pulling a trailer behind it.
That's a
And
tractor trailer.
That's a tractor trailer.
That's a
It's like
tractor
a compound
trailer.
word too,
yeah,
right? Tractor
yes,
trailer.
It's a compound word
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're pulling out the compound word.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to agree that it's probably gonna be an 18-wheeler.
Agree. Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
18 wheeler.
For
Yeah.
sure. We can agree.
Because like this
we can agree
18
to
wheeler
agree
just
there.
pulled out in front of me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm mad and I already have road rage, it's an 18 wheeler.
It's an 18-wheeler.
So I got a question for you. So like when you're on the highway and like they have a blowout, is it a 17-wheeler?
I don't think about it like that. Just cuss out
that
the world.
18-wheeler lost his wheel.
That's
We're gonna
right.
be. It's a crap. I'm gonna be late for work. I'm stuck in traffic because
Yeah.
this 18-wheeler just wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary when
It
driving
is.
next to him.
It is.
All right. So the next one, is it called a yard sale, a garage sale, an estate sale? What's the difference?
Oh.
See, like if you're trying to get like fancy with it, my parents said like the houses in their neighborhood, it's always an estate
I've
sale.
never heard of that before.
Or like
So-
it's like selling your like the stuff that you don't want to bring with you. Like you just sell it because like you don't want to move it in like the U-Haul that you like rented
Yeah, I've
out.
never heard it called a state.
So if you're like moving from one place to another, you're selling like your estate, like everything,
Yes,
furniture.
you're selling your
Yeah.
expensive stuff
I've
because you
seen-
don't
Or,
feel
like,
like taking it with you.
If there's like a death in the family, you're selling that person's
Okay.
Right.
basically house and all the
Okay,
contents in it.
so I think estate, and I think like you're selling your actual property, like you're
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
your estate.
Yep.
A yard sale is
You're just trying to get rid of,
really
like, the
redneck,
sticks.
really ghetto. you got crap all over your yard, and you're selling it for dirt cheap. My
Yeah.
grandparents used to, I swear, kidnap me and take me yard sailing when I was a kid, and I hated every second of it.
But like you get nice stuff for like really cheap just
I
because
don't
like people are
like-
trying
I
to get
don't
rid
like
of it.
used stuff. I do not. That's one thing about
Especially,
me
like,
is that I will not go
clothes.
thrifting. I will not do it.
I don't
But-
like secondhand clothes.
No.
Nothing against it and against anybody who buys it.
Well, yeah, of course.
I just feel weird wearing stuff that other people
Me
wore.
too.
Well, like if you're borrowing, like say like a shirt that like of a person who's the same size as you,
Yeah.
just borrow it for a day and like give it back washed.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. But if I will never like on my own, in my own free will, step into a Goodwill. I won't do it.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, my grandparents growing up really liked like doing like the thrifting and stuff like that, and they would like want to take me and my sisters thrifting and all that, and I just hated it. I hated doing that, and a yard sale makes me think of like a trashy neighborhood, just has stuff all over their yard, has kids running around, like a dog. That's what I think of as like a trailer park type of yard sale.
So it's
See, like I say garage sale because like you're selling out of your garage.
Yeah,
If you're
that
in
makes
your
sense, too.
garage, it is a garage sale. But if you're
Like if you don't have a garage, I'm sorry, but like
if you're in your yard, it's a yard sale and it's trash.
I've been to plenty of garage sales before because like you said, like my parents wanted to do that type of thing. Like they were cool with it. So
Yeah.
of course they don't have anybody watch the kids, bring our asses with them.
Right.
But like they sell like kind of cool stuff. Like my brother, he's always gotten RC cars that the kids didn't want
Oh, yeah.
anymore because like they grew up. They don't play with it anymore. So it's like, hey, sell it for $20, just get rid of
Yeah.
it. And then like say like pencils or stuff my mom didn't want to go out and buy like for $5, see for like $2 and like buy it there.
Mm-hmm.
And then random like containers or I don't know, like being the child, like, oh my god, I want that old DS
Right.
or something.
No, I get it. I get the appeal of it. Just there's just something about knowing that somebody else has used it before and worn
No, I
it
get
on
what you
their
mean.
body that I'm like,
Like
So-
dishes and stuff, I could kind of see like use dishes, just clean it first.
ugh.
But
Yeah, no.
like hand me down dishes, I could kind of see though.
Don't take me to a yard sale. I won't go.
So for you, a yard sale is like the same stuff out there like all the time. It's just low grade
it looks
stuff
really
people
bad.
can't get rid of, but
Yeah.
they're trying to sell it.
Yeah.
Well,
Where a
because it's
garage
not
sale
really
can be like
presented
better
like
quality.
a
A
store.
garage sale, yes, because it's all inside. For some reason, like in a garage seems better. I still wouldn't go because I still don't want it, somebody else's used stuff, but it doesn't look as trashy when it's in a garage and not all over someone's used.
So like what you're getting at is a garage sale means it's probably better quality stuff, therefore they're keeping it in the garage so it doesn't get damaged, ruined, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So what if you have like tables and you set up in the yard and you have the quality goods?
It's still a yard
I don't know.
sale.
Yeah,
You're not
it's
gonna
still a
risk it?
yard
Still
sale.
just looks like a yard
Because it's in your
sale.
yard.
Yeah.
That's why they call it the yard sale.
So yard sales out of your yard and a garage sales out of your garage.
Now, but like certain neighborhoods you go to, like if they're like rich, like they just want to get rid of stuff because they don't want to take it with them when they move.
Yeah.
Like I could kind of see that as like
So that's more of-
seriously, you don't want that antique.
So that's
like,
more of like an estate sale?
estate, yeah.
Okay.
But like I could see furniture except for sofas or couch, whatever you want to call it. Like
There's another one.
No, I wouldn't want to buy a used couch.
I wouldn't
grew
want to
up in
buy
a
a used
household-
couch
I
because it's
grew
like,
up in
what
a
did you do on
household
that
where
couch?
All we had was, hand-me-down couches from the family.
Yeah.
And, they're already broken in or cracked or whatever.
Like the springs in them, you could feel more of the spring than the cushion itself.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I
I've
guess-
always
It's also safe to say, too, like if something was really of value nowadays, it's probably going to be on Marketplace anyway. So you really, if you're showing up to somebody's house to buy something they can't sell on Marketplace, it's probably not the best anyway.
Right. And like, of course, like furniture, not couches, but like, dressers, stuff like that you can find on Marketplace. They're going to be a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. All for that. But I'm talking like clothes and toys, kids' toys, and like stuff that's been in people's mouths, like kids' toys. Like,
I wouldn't buy kids' toys.
No, don't try to sell me that. But I'm not against shopping on Facebook Marketplace because there's some cool stuff on
Oh,
there.
there's so much cool
Yeah.
stuff. I probably have spent in the last 10 years on Marketplace. I shouldn't even say it. I probably spent like $5,000
Just a good amount.
buying random things over the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
A pretty penny on some stuff.
Then you gotta like meet up with somebody and like
It's like me standing outside the QT
like
or like
Walmart or something
Yeah.
waiting for
like at a
some
gas
guy.
station, like afraid I'm gonna die over a $3 toaster.
Yeah, right.
Like
Well,
right.
there's a
That's
trick
just
to
not
it.
my cup of tea to do that.
no, I'm
So-
too scared.
When I buy off a Marketplace, the first thing I do is I become a stalker. I click
love that
on
for
view
you.
their profile, and I want to see if this person has a Facebook that's more than like 3 weeks
Do
old.
they have kids?
Yeah, are they a family person?
Yeah.
Do they have a lot of friends on their profile? If this is legitimate, I want to make sure that I'm not showing up somewhere to like get robbed. If it's a Facebook profile, just started 2 weeks ago. Okay, no profile picture, nothing like that. And if they have a bunch of other stuff that's listed, still active or sold,
Yeah.
there's some ways you can protect yourself from that. But
Yeah.
I definitely would rather buy something off a Marketplace and just go house to house looking at random yard sales. There's a lot of people that I've seen that do that. Some people, I did a yard sale once a long time ago, put a sign up. It was actually like a Tuesday or some random day that me and my ex-wife were off. And this one family pulled off the main road to come in. They saw the sign. We didn't even think, that y'all were actually going to be set up here because, it's a random day. It's not a weekend. But we took a chance on it. They came in and bought a few things. But those people love doing it. They would go, every weekend looking for signs just to rummage through old people's old stuff and see if they can find some hidden gems.
Yep, that sounds like my grandparents.
Yeah.
Is it like I can see where like you actually go and you find the said hidden gem, but like how many places do you go in to find the said thing? Like, are you going specifically for something?
I don't have the patience for that. I can't even shop at like Marshall's because I go in there and I'm just so overwhelmed because there's so much stuff. And I hear everybody saying, "Oh, I found this at Marshall's." And it's so cute. It's like awesome, but I do not have the patience to go into a store and shop for that long to like find a hidden gem. I'd
Yeah,
rather
like a
just order
specific item,
something.
I wouldn't do
I'd
it.
rather just pay the extra money and order it online.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You save a lot more money looking for stuff you don't need. You save a lot more money shopping online for specific things you do
Yeah.
need versus going to places expecting to find something and then finding something and realizing you probably didn't need it.
That's like going to the store and something being on sale and buying it, not really wanting it that bad, but buying it because it's on sale. It's like,
On
okay, well
impulse.
then save that money. You save a whole lot more than the deal by just not buying it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I've always told people.
Yeah. like, you know what? I could save you an extra $30 if you just put this back on the shelf.
I could probably save you $100 a month by removing your Amazon app from your phone.
You definitely could.
Yeah.
You definitely could. Probably more than
We
that.
love her.
Yeah, I love me some Amazon too.